I mean, I don't like Red Dead because I suck at Red Dead.
The
alligators eat me.
I don't like Red Dead Online because people are cunts. But
well, there's that.
It's not a bad game. It's just there are people who are cunts.
In online.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some fun.
You know what we haven't done in a while?
GTA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We need more of that. It has been a minute. Too long.
I would offer to play that tonight, but my gut's doing that thing where like I have to poop, but I don't have to poop.
I had that happen the other day.
That's going to be the whole podcast tonight. Is just first of all, me going after flies because there's a fly in here, and I'm going to get him, and also having to poop but not having to poop. This is great stuff. This is why people tune in. Okay, so where's Masami? Did Masami just post in Cox?
No, it was Linus.
Oh, thank Christ. Okay, alright. Just let me spam Masami. Ooh, I used to play Stepmania. Yeah, that's whatever. Alright, let's boot this up here for a sec. Because I'm not completely honest here, I was terrified that Linus was actually going to be on this podcast. Because we said that...
then you would have to actually play the game.
Yes.
I never made that promise.
I said that if Linus came on this podcast and he told me how the city builder aspect in PoE works, that I would play PoE.
Yeah.
And I said that.
Is that a 1 week offer or is that a standing offer?
1 week. I believe I said come on the next podcast. Yeah, but anyway. Whew! Dodged a bullet there. Thanks, future Linus. Oh boy!
You, even though it has City Builder now, you're not intrigued by the mashup of ARPG and City Builder?
No.
'Cause that sounds like it makes sense, right?
Those are two genres that totally go together.
From what I can get, I'm gonna speculate how it works just to annoy future Linus. Again, hi future Linus. I think from the article, actually I should be able to pull the article up right now. Right about now. So from what I gather in the article, you have like a city that you're going to build up, and it's because there's some lore explanation for it. Nobody cares. You need to employ people in your city so that they will perform their jobs and provide services to the other people in your city. And in order to pay the people in your city, you need a new currency that's just called gold. They've never had gold in PoE before. Who'd have thought? So you have to get gold by playing the game. It's just a thing that drops alongside loot now. So they're tricking you. If you're like me and you're just interested in the city builder aspect, they're tricking you into coming in, and they're tricking you into playing the game because you need to play the game in order to get gold, and then you spend the gold on the people for your city. So nice try. Ha 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 ha. I'm on to you. But anyway, it is Settlers of Calgary.
Sounds like a Canadian province. Just saying.
Calgary. Settlers of Calgary.
I like it. So, Doc, I want to let you know you can update the ticker.
Oh, I can?
It has officially been 1 week
since you looked at me?
since I have last played WoW. I have
Oh,
not logged
Omega.
into WoW at all.
Omega, I appreciated your reference.
I also did. I ignored it on purpose because I wanted so badly to start singing the song.
It's been... Oh.
Are we covering the Olympics on this podcast? Is this going to be a sports podcast for the next few weeks?
The
I
what?
don't think so.
Okay, good. Doc said the what?
Who cares about the Summer Olympics?
I do. Wrestling. Sweaty men in singlets wrestling or throwing each other around a mat. I enjoy it.
Chicken to China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops ticking. Watching X-Files with the lights on, without any sound. I hope the Spooky Man's in this one.
Harrison Ford, I'm getting frantic.
Like
Okay,
Sting
stop.
trick. Like Snickers guaranteed to satisfy. Like Kurosawa, I make mad films. Okay, I don't make films, but if I did, they'd have a samurai.
Oh.
Market board style
Yes.
currencies trade with other players is a huge leap forward for PoE. It's a black market gambler that Roberts calls out as a dark horse to watch. Yeah, so there are also new ways to get gear when you're building up your city. There, you can send these people off to do maps, whatever the fuck maps are. So many new aspects to this city builder thing. So few pictures, and yeah, there you go. That's PoE. That's city builder in PoE. I'm never gonna play it. Actually, I probably would.
City builder in PoE.
Yeah, it all depends on how micro I can get with my city building, because, you know, I like the ability to place individual shrubs. Let's see. Speaking of shrubs. 10,000-hour indie RPG goes free to play as the devs aren't comfortable making tens of thousands of dollars from people who don't play the game. So that's
I just threw this in there because, like, this is why we need indie developers.
yeah.
Like, these are people who care about making games and care about their customers, and they're not some fucking fifth level subsidiary of a global, you know, multinational corporation. And, you know, they're able to be passionate about making games and make decisions like this. And, you know, it's really interesting to see, like, the things that they say. Like, you can go more into, like, the quotes in the article, but I don't know, I just felt like throwing this in there because it's like, yeah, there are still good guys out there in the gaming industry. Pretty cool.
There are also still great authors out there, great real people writing articles, like Karen Siren, who wrote this one. But you're absolutely right, Omega. This game, according to the dev, this game has about 10,000 hours worth of stuff to do in it, and there are a couple hundred or so user reviews on Steam that basically say as much. They've got over 1,000 hours on record, and they're like, "Wow, this game is packed full of content." So it's a simple concept. It's a puzzle RPG, and the graphics are relatively simple, not quite 8-bit, a little more sophisticated than 8-bit, but it's got a style to it. It's got a lot of content to it, and it used to be $20, and the dev is now saying, no, it's free to play. There is DLC that they are going to add, and they have said you only really need to think about buying the DLC after you've got like 100 hours into the game. So now you can play the game for free, and if you get 100 hours in and you love it, you can buy the DLC. So that's a nice little way of making sure that, you know, people aren't just like throwing $20 away playing the game for 2 hours. As a dev, I appreciate that they care about that. They're like, we want you to play the game and have fun. If you get far enough into it, then pay us, please. But
yeah, it's pretty cool.
This was nice. So Tactical Nexus is Tactical Nexus is the name of the game, right? What's the company?
Yep. Team Tactical Nexus is the developer and publisher. Like, this is...
Oh, gotcha,
This
okay.
is their game.
Team Tactical Nexus, right. Yep.
Like, this game is what they've made. They're all in on it. Yeah, it doesn't have a huge amount of reviews. All time, 132 total reviews. Overall, 96% positive reviews.
It's free. Might as well try play it. Maybe it'll be really good. I usually like puzzle games.
Oh yeah, no random elements, no procedural generation. So like, each level is a puzzle to figure out. It's not, something that changes up where you just learn basic strategy and get through it, like a lot of other games where things are different. This is a puzzle game through and through, but they've added in meta progression. You can upgrade your shit. You can get. Oh, I saw this article. I was like, that looks pretty cool. I looked at the game a little bit. Yeah, I might check it out. It is free.
Yeah, definitely.
It has super polished Super Nintendo RPG vibes.
Yeah, that's a good description.
This feels like looking at it, it feels like a Super Nintendo era game. It's just got much better graphics. And I mean, I'm sure it's much deeper than a Nintendo game ever could be, simply by nature of the amount of space you have to store game data. But just like the look and vibe of it has that feel. I'm sure if they're saying, and people seem to support the notion that this game has 10,000 hours of content in it, then certainly way deeper than a Nintendo game would ever be. But it's a cool vibe. It's kind of like a nostalgic look to it. I'm like looking at the Steam videos now, and that's so funny. Their video on Steam, on their Steam page, is 9.5 minutes long. It's not a trailer. It's not anything. It's like, yeah, you can just watch somebody play the game for a while.
But I appreciate that more than a fucking trailer that shows me like 10 seconds of gameplay and a whole bunch of CGI.
Yeah, they have a 43-second trailer, but the second video is just 9.5 minutes of gameplay.
Right. I just loaded up a page here. This is, so obviously Tactical Nexus is great. 10,000 hours worth of content for fucking free? Yeah, absolutely. I'll check that out. But if we were talking about puzzle games, I just wanted to throw out there's another game that I absolutely fucking love called Creeks. It's from the same studio that did Machinarium, which was another puzzle game that I really loved. Anyway, Creeks is fucking great. It does not have 10,000 hours worth of content, and it costs $20, but it's a really lovely art style, and the puzzles are intriguing.
I think I watched you play this for a while.
Lovely mechanics to it. Yeah, I loved Creeks. I should play it again. I'm
not a fan of playing puzzle games myself, but I mean, I did enjoy watching it. I do love the art style of this game.
To quote Granny, it's so cozy.
Mm-hmm. But in, our particular dark and fucked up brand of cozy.
Yes. Yes, it is a don't starve together sort of cozy. Oh, good times. So, how's this week in the train? How's the train doing?
Train's doing alright. I just got to chapter 5. So that's chapter 5 here. Or wait, no, I just finished chapter 5. I'm in chapter 6. Yeah, chapter 6.
Oh boy.
Chapter 5 was right there.
You are deep into Russia.
Yeah. That's where I started out at Moscow. And then Chelyabinsk, that's a city that you might recognize as a modern, in modern times. And
Was it Lemmiwinks? Omsk! I know where Omsk is.
Okay, I went through Omsk. Now I am on my way to Nizhny.
It's the Paris of Russia.
Is that an H or a B? Yeah, that's.
Was that on the right there?
Oh yeah. Nezhnuding.
Westerners trying to pronounce Russian city names.
Nizhnudinsk. Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Nizhnyuninks. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh, but I've added a kitchen car.
Oh, very nice. Look at. Oh, you gotta. Is his name Jacques? Is your chef's name Jacques?
Let's see. I've got Bozhena, Ivan, Vladimir, and Katerina. That's my current cook crew.
Okay, I trust Katerina with my food, but the rest of them, I feel like their secret ingredient to everything is vodka.
Mm-hmm.
They are Russian.
Chicken tastes a
There
little.
seems to be an interesting sort of like recursive loop here, where you make food like your cooks can you can make. Oh, there's research. What's all this? Oh, so I can research new things that they can craft. In addition to like apple pie and coffee are actual like items versus food, which is a resource. So like apple pie, for instance, so down here, like you can give them coffee, caviar, actual items. So they will feed them, fill their hunger if they are hungry, but they also boost. These give you morale and charisma, morale and they give you temporary stat boost.
Magdalena is feeling very charismatic today.
Yeah, eating that caviar makes people like you a lot. And you also have coffee, which boosts work efficiency, cigarettes, which just make you feel better, boost your morale.
I mean, yeah.
Which fully boosts your morale.
Yes.
Stimulants and first aid kit. So those are the consumables.
It's just called stimulants. They're not even called amphetamine salts.
No, they're just stimulants.
Cocaine.
But
yeah. I just think that's funny in your car or in your kitchen car. Because you said you've also got a mechanic that. Oh, all right. So I know how the conversation would go. Be Ivan. The chicken a la king tastes a little funny today. The secret ingredient is vodka. Also, is not chicken, is rat.
Yeah, there's a little rat meat in the food supply.
You get to round up the rats, right? Whenever you have an infestation, you get to kill them and use them as food, yeah?
So yeah, I'm on my storage card now. There's a mouse catcher, which I can get, which decrease chances of rat infestation, and then advanced mouse catcher, which will total decrease 30% chance of rat infestation. But I didn't get those researches because instead I got the dead rat collector, where when you remove the rat infestation, you get food.
Ask not where your food came from. Ask where you came for your food.
Listen, times are tough. And now that we got this kitchen car, though, like I was saying, there's this kind of recursive little hack here where you can make food by using herbs and food. So 10 food plus 20 herbs makes 20 food, but like it's the same food. So you just, as long as you have a supply of herbs, you can kind of have an infinite supply of food, I think, which is really good because I was running low on food. But yeah, that's how that works. So now I've just got these people, basically 2 people just cooking food 24 hours a day. I got oh yeah, my artillery car. Have I shown you this?
You told me what it does. If you stay in one place for too long, airplanes start coming and harassing you, so an artillery car will fire at planes?
Yeah, so if I put people in the machine gunner's post, there we go. So yeah, we got a little machine gunner out here. Those out of these ports, they will shoot at airplanes. But then, when we're in like missions and doing the RTS game, I guess what would that? I don't know. Anyway, you have these artillery shells here, and I can call in an artillery strike.
Very nice. Very Company of Heroes-esque.
Great.
I do
It's
like
kinda
how
great.
I like how this game has blended a lot of aspects of like base building, but mobile base building that you carry with you from mission to mission. But you also have the tactical gameplay that like you have in Company of Heroes. Because I don't know that many people who have played Company of Heroes, and I thought it was a really great game. I haven't played Company of Heroes 3, but 1 and 2 were both great.
Yeah, I'm really digging this game. It's got it. I would say it has like serious Frostpunk on a train vibes. I mean, it's not quite as survival focused so much as it is resource management focused, and you know the actual combat missions are something that obviously Frostpunk doesn't have any sort of corollary.
Derp. Alright, so... did Path of Exiles, did Settlers of whatever... Oh, Soulframe. It's been a while since we talked about Warframe, or Soulframe. Soulframe is Steve's new project that he's been working on for a while. And it's like Dark Souls if Dark Souls was Warframe. And that's how I've been describing it. Now there's an article about how Soulframe creative director knows people might think it's a Souls-like because of the name. We agonized over it. Did you, Steve? Did you really?
But like, it wasn't even Steve. Like,
Was it
in
not?
the article, it was some other guy. I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
I'm gonna try to find out who. Oh, Jeff. Jeff Crooks. Yeah, it's Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
Who the fuck is Jeff?
Wasn't Jeff the kind of skinny guy who used to be on dev streams? He and the more portly gentleman who I know from, I think he was building a car in his garage or something, or a truck. Yeah, he did a live stream where he was building a truck in his garage. And Steve all went over to work on Soulframe, and they left Reb and Megan and Taylor and who's the other lady who I don't think should be working there because she fucked up so badly twice.
Megan?
No, Danielle.
Oh, right, Danielle.
The lady who most recently dropped a fucking bomb again while trying to moderate chat moderators, basically.
What did she do this time around?
Some bullshit about it. It's the same thing at DE every single time. Somebody says something in chat, DE gets their panties in a twist, and somebody gets banned. And then the community are just like, whoa, fascist state. Fucking fascist liberals. See, it's the same thing every single time.
Where did baby warframes come from?
Yeah, that's what got me chat banned.
What was the other one?
And then DLC comes out like 2 months later, where we find out exactly where baby warframes come from.
It was your idea. They stole it, Doc.
How am I the asshole?
It was your idea, Doc. They stole it.
I am the asshole. I'm just asking how.
It's not what you said. It's the implication.
It was the implied Warframe imaginary sex.
At least I didn't ask, can Nezha have baby warframes?
What was the one thing that was getting people banned? Is Nezha a trap? What?
Yeah, Nezha is a trap. Yeah, just those words got people chat banned. Yeah, so anyway, the secret to Warframe is staying out of region chat, because everyone in there is just awful. Including the chat mods. Alright.
But yeah, like, they want it to be clear that it's not a Souls-like game.
But it looks exactly like a Souls-like game, and it's more slow-paced than Warframe.
It looks like fucking, like, I'm looking at the screenshot in there, it looks like fucking Warframe. It looks like you're wandering around, oh, fuck, I forgot the name of everything in Warframe. It's been so long since I've played. What's the planet?
Plains of Eidolon?
The first planet. Yeah, like that town.
Cetus.
Yeah, Cetus, that's the one. That looks like it's around the corner.
There's no early lunch for Konzu in this game.
The staff that he's holding with that weird bowl on it just screams Steve. That's pure Warframe to me. Like, this looks like a screenshot from like a different game mode of Warframe. You know, who knows what the fuck they've added next. You could tell me this was from Warframe and I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's the latest update. That makes sense to me. I believe it.
So Steve absolutely has an artistic style, and I know that he's the driving force behind this because, well, at least he has made himself out to be the driving force behind Soulframe, as he was behind Warframe. So he absolutely has an artistic style. I agree with you. And yeah, it's pretty easy for me to think that, oh, this could be somewhere in Warframe. They're probably using a lot of the existing technology that they developed in Warframe to make this game, including whatever updates they've made to the engine. They made their own engine, didn't they? Isn't that the whole way that Warframe started, is that it was supposed to be just like a character... it was supposed to be an engine for character modeling.
I believe so, yeah.
And then it grew into, we need to observe how the model moves in, combat situations, so let's program in a combat situation, and things just went up and downhill from there. So there's definitely that style, they're probably definitely using that technology, and I'd say, yeah, that would be why I do get a Warframe feel from it. But I also, having watched a lot of Elden Ring shit, I also get an Elden Ring feel from it, so it's somewhere between the two. Because, yeah, as much as some of this does look like Warframe, it also looks like some of the more beautiful stuff in Elden Ring, except for this first picture. Jesus Christ, those guys who were screaming, the white shades in the rock bodies, look really rough. So I'm going to assume that's a early character model. But yeah, it's billed as being a more slow-paced game than Warframe. According to Crooks, from this article, quote, according to Crooks, Warframe in a nutshell is fast, hyper-stylized chaos. Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I remember it.
Absolutely phenomenally, yes. So Soulframe is supposed to be more slow-paced, but Crooks says, I'm not trying to say casual, quips Crooks, with a warm fantasy setting that isn't quite as grim as others. There's also a focus on individual enemies, that's why I'm not interested in it, rather than juggling a whole bunch of different enemies to focus on at once. So, yep. they're chugging along with this. It's been a couple of years. But Steve's still at it.
Yeah, I mean, I was still playing Warframe back when the crew left Start Soulframe.
Yeah, because then we started getting Reb updates, and
Reb.
Reb has been, as creative director, I think she's got something to say about what they're focusing on and what they're updating in the game, and if that is true, then she's been nailing it. So, Warframe's in a good place, in a good state. The last event was really good. There's some really good ideas behind it. I'm glad they went that direction. Oh, Steve. I do, however, miss the days whenever we could blame something wrong with the game on Steve.
You
easy.
can still do that. It just... Yeah, it's just not entirely true.
You're totally right.
It's still Steve's fault.
It's like whenever I go somewhere and something wrong, bad happens, I'm like, thanks, Obama. It's like he's been out of office for like 2 terms.
I have a funny story about that. And we were driving. I was taking my sister moved this weekend into her new house. She'll listen to this podcast later. Congratulations, sis. But we were driving down one of the roads to get to the U-Haul place, and right in front of this car dealership, every single time my CarPlay on my phone disconnects from my phone, and I have to reconnect it just slightly past that. And I looked at her on the way back, and she goes, on the way back to the condo to help get the rest of her stuff, and she looked at me and she goes, why does it do that? I said, I don't know. It's a conspiracy. Thanks, Biden. And then she looked at me and she goes, can't blame him for anything anymore. He's not running for president again. And I went, oh.
Yeah, it's time for Grandpa Joe to enjoy whatever the hell it is that they do with old politicians when they retire. Oh boy, that's gonna be a fucking shit show. It's already a shit show. I'm looking
100% a shit show.
I'm looking forward to the chaos that ensues as the Democrats scramble to try and organize themselves, which is notoriously what Democrats are the worst at. Oh. Yeah, so that's... Oh, we can get to this just because we brought up politics, but I hate putting this fucking albino Oompa Loompa up on stream at all, but Donald Trump's Twitch account got unbanned after 3+ years.
I'll be 100% honest with you. Until I saw this article, I had no idea that he had a Twitch channel.
We must have mentioned it at some point in the past, how this fucking Cheeto-haired cunt has a Twitch channel, and we must have made jokes about, like, I wonder if he's gonna, like, live stream games. What kind of games would Donald Trump play?
Minecraft, because it's the only place he can go to build a wall.
Oh!
Acceptable.
Been waiting months to make that joke.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah, not bad.
So yeah, after the January 7th, 2021 violent riot perpetuated in DC, we can just call it an insurrection. It was an attempted insurrection. Twitch made his ban indefinite. The first time it was banned was June 29, 2020. It was temporarily banned over hateful conduct. But then, yeah, January 7th happened, and January 6th. I thought it was January 6th.
Yeah, they must have misprinted. Somebody fat-fingered a 7. Wait,
Yeah.
Hang on. Unless if they were using the numpad, then that's not possible.
Yeah, were they thinking of October 7th? So, anyway, yeah, the Twitch made the ban indefinite. But here's what made me laugh when I read this. So, on July 19th, as first reported by esports journalist Rod Breslau, Twitch decided to reinstate Trump's official account. Bosler shared this statement on Twitch, from Twitch on Twitter, explaining the reversal of the ban. Quote, "We reinstated former President Trump's channel. We believe there is value in hearing from presidential nominees directly when possible. Trump is now the official Republican nominee for U.S. president." So, I read something else here. Oh, okay, that's not what made me laugh. What made me laugh was Twitch's, the next statement Twitch made. Twitch doesn't have a public figure policy, meaning all channels are equally subject to our guidelines, regardless of whether the channel belongs to a public figure, said Twitch. I laughed my fucking ass off. I actually laughed out loud reading this because that's such horse shit. Twitch has demonstrated on multiple occasions how fucking inconsistent they are with people's bans. You can be a Twitch thought and show full bush and you can get banned for a week, maybe, and then you're back on. But if you're a dude who accidentally shows your ass crack, you're gone. You're fucking gone for good. That's one two situations that have actually happened that we've talked about on this podcast previously, where we're just like, yeah, bullshit. No one is equal on Twitch. Twitch doles out favoritism left and right, and it's fucking obvious. So this is just a laugh. Do you think that they're just doing this because they want to try to drive traffic to their fucking site? It's like Donald Trump brings in the clicks. 100%. What the fuck is Donald Trump going to stream? Is he going to stream? He's going to stream his. He's going to stream his statement about how if I become president, I'm not going to ban the TikToks. I love the TikToks.
I'm just waiting for the official Trump TikTok, because you know it's going to happen.
Oh my god. So yeah, this is Twitch embarrassing itself publicly, which is great. I think it's hilarious. But yeah, first hate speech and then, inciting a riot against the Capitol, and that was like 3 years ago. And Twitch is like, it's fine now. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll let him back on. He's definitely not going to use hate speech this time. He's learned his lesson. We have taught him his lesson. He is not going to misbehave. We're Twitch. Fucking shit sticks.
I like that word, shit stick.
I like a nice firm shit stick.
That's okay. I saw him, speaking of shit sticks, I saw a meme earlier today that was a Warhammer meme, and they were holding a lightning spear, and it said, the spear has been empowered with lightning. I hope it's enough. And then it's the orcs, and it says, we've dipped this wooden spear in shit. And the other person went, perfect. And that's it. That's all it is.
Gotta love the orc memes.
Orc puts rock under a hood of a car, then writes engine on it, and the car goes. Okay.
Mind you, that's not actually how it works in the game, but pretty fucking funny to think about. Oh, that's great. Remember the Archer episode where he was on the island with the last Japanese soldier from World War II? He gets caught in a trap, and the Japanese guy smeared a little bit of poop on the spikes in the trap.
Yeah, that's how you do punchy sticks.
That's so awful. But hey, bio-warfare in World War II.
Yeah, war as hell. They also did that shit in Vietnam. I don't think Korea, but I think that was Vietnam.
Maybe Vietnam. I don't think there's a person alive who hasn't seen the TikTok of the museum in Vietnam with all the traps that they used to use in the jungle. And there's a person with a stick going around demonstrating what would happen if you stepped on each of them. Those are neat. Sure wouldn't want to be there.
Yeah, probably not a good time.
Always a good time.
But you know what's always a good time, besides Samuel Adams, is our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legend.
Oh.
No, I'm just fucking with you. We don't have a sponsor. Nah, a furry
I don't know
hacked...
that we could ever get one. Maybe Bad Dragon. I wonder if they would sponsor us.
Who?
Bad Dragon. You know, they make the...
You keep on saying that.
Like you don't know, Doc.
Oh, wait, no, dildos?
Yes!
Okay, yes. I'm sorry. It was just out of context. I do know what you're talking about.
I was about to say, come on now. Don't make me explain this.
No, because...
Don't make me explain the concept of animal-shaped dildos to you.
Now I feel badly for admitting
And
that
dragons.
I knew what it was.
So, not just animals, also fantasy animals.
Fantasy creatures, yes.
We thought long and hard about what a dragon dick would look like.
Oh, they did think long and hard about that.
Then we
You were not
molded
wrong
it
there.
with our own many hands. And then we tested it to make sure that it felt right. Anyway, here's a giant dildo that looks like a horse cock. It's not weird for you to buy this.
It's true. It's not weird.
Horse chicks are fucking crazy. It's not just the horse women, it's the horse men too. But Jesus fucking Christ. So yeah.
If a
Not just
centaur
the
is a
horse
cock,
men, but the horse women and the horse children too.
is
They don't like sand.
oh my god.
Wait, okay, because you said that, I read something, I'm pretty sure it's made up, but I read something that Hayden Christensen, right next to Hayden Christensen's picture, and he was just like, when we were on set filming, like, episode 2, we had that scene, me and Natalie had that scene when we were on Naboo, and I thought that I would just go to George and suggest to him some dialogue, being like this whole, hey Silas, this whole like thing about how, you know, I love, you know, the Jedi, and I'm encouraging everyone to love, and it's all of this, and like I really have feelings for you and all the rest of that. And I told this to George, and George just sat there and listened to me, and when I was done, he burst out laughing and said, "Are you fucking serious? Nobody talks like that. Tell her you hate sand." And I thought, wow, I have so much to learn.
Oh. So important question. If a centaur is a police officer, do they wear the bulletproof vest on the man portion or the horse rib cage? Because they technically have 2 rib cages.
Have you ever seen
2 hearts? Does a centaur have 2 hearts?
Good question.
2 stomachs?
No, they do not.
So, does it have the human stomach or the horse stomach?
It's got the horse stomach.
Okay, does it have the human heart? So what, is the human torso just empty? Is the human torso just...
It's like a neck. Yes.
It's a giant horse neck that's also a rib cage? Yes,
and the reason that I say this is because this came up... Zero, I swear to God, I thought you were going to bring up the meme that I saw the other day about... If a woman centaur... Does she have a vagina in the front part or in the back part? The answer is both. Japan... God bless him, answered this question.
Female, this. Oh God.
Female centaurs have a vagina in the front and a vagina in the back. The vagina in the front is for testing. That's for like if you want to see if you're compatible with someone, you use the test vagina. But then in back, that's the real vagina where the baby comes out. So that's when you're married.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that like Japanese stuff doesn't count.
Of course it does. They're the only people who are making diagrams about this shit.
Yeah, but it's all weird. It's all extra weird over there.
It gets weird.
They take it in a different direction.
Would it somehow be less? Would it somehow be less weird if
they invented futa? It doesn't count.
Would it be less weird if it were Russians coming up with this? Centaur has two vaginas. One in front for testing of partner, one in back for baby making.
I honestly don't think the Russians are that creative.
Nope, they
there you go.
really
See?
aren't.
Exactly, I agree with you. It has to go to Japan. They're the weirdest and they have the greatest creativity. So yeah, Silas says the hoe hole and the marriage hole. Yes, exactly. And male centaurs have two penises. There's one in the front that's for testing, and there's one in the back that's for baby making. And you can have.
I feel like we would see that though, because when you look at a centaur, like there's. So you're saying that
they have cod pieces in the front.
Okay, if all the organs are in the horse part and the human torso is actually the neck, what you're saying is a centaur has a dick at the base of its neck.
Yes, like yeah, where your Adam's apple would be. Yeah, little penis sticking out there, so that you can face the female centaur and give it a test run.
Boy, that would. Okay, so hang on. I'm getting into the logistical side of this now. If you use the neck penis, but you're putting the force of the horse behind it, that would kill a woman. Why are we talking about this? How did this get brought up?
They're designed for this, remember? So no, I don't think it would kill them. I got so excited I didn't put my finger on the button. Just there.
I'm crying. I'm legitimately crying. This is great.
So the reason that we're onto this is because I was trying to get into an article about how furries hacked Disney. And if anybody knows how centaurs fuck, it's the furries, and I bet they're getting their information from the same Japanese source that I am.
You're not wrong.
But anyway, yeah, a furry hacktivist group is how they're described. In their offhand, in their basically announcement that they had hacked everything, they said a whole bunch of things. Our hacks are not those of malice, but those to punish those caught stealing. Big and small theft meet the same fate. They basically accused Disney of being. So the group lists a bunch of things it says makes it Disney a fair target, including crypto promotion, AI artwork, theft of work, of creative work, IP, and creator anything to do with creator compensation. Yeah, Disney is kind of awful when it comes to all those things. It is true. And Bob Iger recently made some sort of statement about. Oh, he's against the SAG-AFTRA strike that's fighting for AI regulation and opposing artificial likenesses of actors and their voices, or the use of AI tech in the creation of upcoming projects. Bob Iger's just like, you fucking turds. I don't want to pay you money. I want to push a couple buttons on a computer and have a whole movie and sell that. So yeah, Disney does not support artists. So these hackers basically used an old-fashioned Trojan. That was installed through a mod for the game BeamNG, which is a popular game often seen in social media clips that's basically about all kinds of vehicle physics and crashing things. So some employee in Disney played BeamNG and downloaded a mod for it, and that mod was actually a Trojan horse that gave the group access to this guy's computer. They then executed a second attack using an unknown method, and they started downloading absolutely everything. And the reason they got so damn much is because the Disney employee downloaded this onto a company computer that had access to his company's Slack, and that just let them spread. And they got 1.1 terabytes of data, almost 10,000 channels, every message and file possibly dumped, unreleased projects, raw images and code, logins, links to internal API and web pages, and more. So there's a lot there. Disney claims to have nuked this, but it made it onto the internet. It's never going to be off the internet. Oi. So yeah, there you go. That's why we were talking about horse stick. There's no cock like horse cock. Good times.
I just love that there's a furry hacktivist group out there that's that mad about Club Penguin.
Yeah, that's how this ended. At the end of their little blurb, they said, quote, "Bet they never imagined taking down Club Penguin servers would cause this much shit." So Disney really shouldn't have killed Club Penguin. That was a bad idea.
Club Penguin. Oh, that game.
There was another thing in this article where the author goes on a bit of an editorialization for, I don't know, a paragraph or two. The author is trying to make the case that going after, so, quote, "The idea of Disney being caught with its cyber trousers down is, I will admit, somewhat amusing, but the idea of potential real-life consequences for individuals who just happen to work for the company is not." And I strongly disagreed with that statement. Mainly because Disney is the people that work for Disney. That's like saying, you know, the Nazis are bad, nobody likes the Nazis and we don't want them, but the individual people who are Nazis, they're not so bad. They're not doing anything wrong, right? You know, it's not like they're Hitler. It's like, that is not how that works.
Not how that works. That follows the whole, they were just following orders logic.
Yeah, right. That classic Nuremberg trial defense that absolutely does not work and never has.
Consider it done. I'll look.
I can't wait until Omega fucks these guys up.
Sir?
Hey, Kirby's here.
Hey, Kirby!
Yes.
Kirby, we were just talking about how furries hacked Disney.
Taking position.
It's real.
Assuming position.
Oh, that's great stuff.
Did you see the game that I'm happening to play during my off time from WoW until tomorrow when they release the pre-patch to the expansion?
No. All right, let's look real quickly. Oh, it's going to be one of these. I don't know who's Slade?
Slade, the rat thief.
Am I Kirok?
What?
Oh, Sarah. Sarah, Peter, and Slade. Yeah, who can forget those characters from that
Peter
game
the
that everybody
Phoenix.
loves?
Yeah, it's Shining Force 2.
Holy shit. Silas got it. Spot on.
Yep.
Yes.
Shining Force 2, probably out of the Sega generation of games, the third greatest game. I would say Shining Force 1, Phantasy Star 4, and then Shining Force 2. Hands down.
Send your asshole into shock.
Excuse me, what?
It's gonna be stuck in my head. It's gonna be stuck in my something. Oh!
That's a 3-pointer!
Okay. Enough of me tooting my own horse phallus dildo from
Bad Dragon?
Bad Dragon. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Bad Dragon. Why don't you... Yeah, sponsor us. Go ahead and sponsor us. I'll advertise dildos. I won't actually use them for how you think they're supposed to be used, but that just, adds to the market value, right? Multiple purposes.
I will put up a piece of smooth Lexane behind my desk, and I will have a wall.
Of dildos just stuck to the wall?
Just stuck to the wall.
You're going to trip and fall and go to the hospital, and some doctor is going to be like, yeah, sure. And you're going to be the only person who's ever told the truth about that. Slipped and fell on a dildo.
I slipped and fell and it ended up down my throat.
You don't understand. I do a podcast, and the wall behind me is covered in dildos. It
I
was
would have
only
to
a-
show video proof.
It
I would
was-
have to show video proof.
Yeah.
I'll keep my head down.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? There's going to be no more video proof of. The Halo 2, or sorry, the Halo TV series has been canceled just after season 2, as the Chief actually found a Halo ring.
Yes.
This happened because they completely missed the character of Master Chief, and they did a bad job telling a story in the Halo universe. It's not that it's impossible to tell a good story in the Halo universe, it's obviously not. It's been done. But this show did not succeed.
Understood.
That's the
No,
end of
Master
Halo.
Chief took his helmet off. Fuck them for that alone.
Master Chief fucked, and he fucked someone who wasn't Cortana. So yeah, they did a bad job.
Ready. Sir, what is it?
I was reading a quote that the guy who played Master Chief,
Yes, sir.
he tweeted out a while ago. He was just like, if you don't like that Master Chief took the helmet off, then just, you know, you don't like the show. Just don't watch the show.
Right you are.
And here we
Done
are.
and done.
Yep.
That
Statements.
uses the same logic that they use for the Acolyte. If you
Orders.
don't like
you
the
don't
way
like the
that we're doing these Star Wars lore, you can not watch the show.
And
And
what's
nobody
happened?
did.
Well, it's like showrunners seem to not have figured out yet that when they get their hands on an IP like this, they seem to be convinced that what they're supposed to do is water it down and genericize it for a larger audience. And so it does two things. One, it entirely alienates the actual fan base of the IP.
Yeah, the pre-existing fan base, who are the reason you're interested in doing this in the first place, are out.
And then it just ends up being a shitty show that people who aren't a part of the fan base don't know. And they're like, what is this? And yeah. If you're going to make a video game movie, make that for the fans
Assuming position.
of that game.
I'll see to it, sir. Enemy spotted.
Yeah, this is
Like The Witcher.
yeah, you know what? I have zero interest in The Witcher anymore. I haven't even been paying attention. I think some episodes
They
are
did it
actually
right.
out.
They did it right, what, the first 2 seasons?
They did it right
I
for about the first half of season 1. And then they started moving things away, and by the end of season 3 they had diverted so much that it was just unrecognizable.
Yes. If you say so.
There's a... Yeah, so anyway, I agree with you, Omega. They could have... a similar thing happened with Rings of Power, which was just... They diverted too much from the actual Lord of the Rings. And what the fuck is up with the costume design? Because I've seen this a bunch of times now, people comparing Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, where the... fuck...
Listening, sir.
It's the Citadel Guard, I guess, of Minas Tirith. I was trying to think of a more proper name for them. But yeah, the costume design for them in the movies versus the costume design for the Numenorians at their height in the show. And the show had $1 billion budget, and Peter Jackson did not. For 3 movies, maybe, Peter Jackson might have racked up close to $1 billion worth of budget. But that was 3 fucking movies that were each 4 hours long. TV show, not so much content. Worse story, worse design.
Understood.
Where'd all that fucking money go?
Yes, sir.
It's a good question. And it's
almost
one
like-
that needs to be answered.
It's almost like people are laundering money through TV shows and movies, and that's why it's okay when they fail. It's almost like that Mel Brooks movie, The Producers.
Taking aim.
It's like that's actually happening in real life. And we're all too old to remember who Mel Brooks is, so we don't realize it.
I remember.
Yeah, me too.
Pepperidge Farms remembers.
Producers was pretty great. I heard Mel Brooks might be making another movie, too. That's... I don't know how I feel about that one. But anyway, there's nothing wrong with making a Halo franchise. There's nothing wrong with making a TV show set in the Halo universe. I think it would actually do really well, but I don't think that you can have Master Chief being your main character. Master Chief
and I think that's another problem that you bring up. A great point is that, like, these worlds are so full of opportunities to tell stories in. Why pick the main character of it? Like, that's one thing I will say I think the Star Wars universe has done right, is, the Mandalorian, shows like that, where
get away from the Jedi. Yeah, away from all that.
You have so much great world building and storytelling potential that you don't need to keep rehashing the stories that have already been told. And you don't, and when you do that, you try to change it because, I've got this new idea, and then you end up just fucking up the old shit. And again, what I was saying earlier, you alienate the fans who have been there the whole time and have loved that, that property the whole time. So, yeah, find cool stories in these IPs. Don't just fucking rip off,
you think
stories already told.
So I had this thought when I was listening to someone talk about who the writers on the Acolyte were, because I don't know why I was at the time, actually. You know how social media has given people an inflated sense of self-importance? Like, now we all think, like, oh, people give a shit about what I think. Blah, 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 blah. The reason we're doing this podcast right now, people give a shit about what DrNiggle thinks. I think that, wouldn't it be funny if that were so true, if that's sort of seeped its way into the creative writing community as well, where people get a hold of these IPs, as you say, and they're under the impression that I'm writing for the Halo show because people think my fanfic ideas are great. And they've got this little, like, story that they've been thinking about for a long time because they sort of like Halo, or they sort of like something else and they can apply it to Halo. And they're like, I want to tell my story because my story is so great. So I need to change the character of Master Chief. He needs to take his helmet off because it's going to be so badass. And they completely lose sight.
You might as well be talking about the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies.
Yeah, that's a great example. That's a great example. Yeah, J.J. has got... he's got this idea that he wants to do.
Space movie.
Yeah. He wanted to do Star Wars that way, but he didn't have Star Wars, so he put it into Star Trek, and he was just like, okay, you can Vulcan has a moon now. Never mind what the canon is. A giant supernova exploded in the Romulan Empire, but none of the border stations were damaged, and the Federation's fine. Fuck physics.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That one time we went through and fucking tore that whole thing. We spent a whole night on that.
We did.
We
pulled that map
did a
up the
deep
other
dive
day.
on like how much. You what?
I found that map the other day, and I was wondering if we noticed that there was a little key for distance in the lower right-hand corner, and we were absolutely correct. Romulus is within 50 light years of Sol.
Yeah, so basically, if that happened, that supernova would have wiped out everything.
Yeah,
they pretend like a supernova, it only damages its local star system, like its own solar system.
Right. And that is not the case at all.
It's a massive explosion that sends showers of radiation and fucking plasma in a giant shell sphere expanding outwards light years into space.
So yeah, all the listening posts along the neutral zone right by there, they would have fucking gone. And Earth would have suffered if Earth didn't get hit by, some impact wave, because it would have dispersed an awful lot by then. It's possible that it would have dispersed and nothing would have been damaged. It still would have gotten a way unhealthy dose of radiation. Way, way unhealthy. So that would have been a whole problem. And they never addressed that in the show. They're just like, nope, no, fuck physics. It happened because movies gotta move. Show's gotta show.
We will regain our freedom.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is well taken, Omega. Yes, people are just fucking getting a hold of these properties, and they're ignoring what made the properties popular in the first place because they think that their ideas, and that's where my idea came in, they think their ideas are so much better than what made these international sensations. Spoilers, you're not that good a writer. If you were, that original project that you worked on would have gotten picked up, but it never did.
Explosives too. Well, that should take care of the tank.
Consider it done.
Silas is asking if we've watched Rebel Moon. Is that the Zack Snyder movie that came out that also got a sequel? The one with, what's her name? Sophia Boutella? Yeah, Rebel Moon. Have Omega Zero, you guys seen Rebel Moon?
I've
Never even heard of it.
You don't need to. It was straight to streaming, and I watched it. I enthusiastically watched it because Zack Snyder is capable of doing good stuff. I mean, not
okay,
seriously good, but fun good.
Look, the Snyder cut of the Justice League movie was amazing. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed the theatrical version.
Yes.
So
well,
there's
it's
that.
because of the... Okay. Now,
I know, it's because Joss Whedon stepped in. I know, Joss Whedon stepped in to save the project because Zack Snyder's daughter fucking died in the middle of production, and I understand completely why he stepped back. I get it.
Right.
Nothing to do with him, but... yeah, Joss Whedon stepped in, and they were like, "We got to wrap this up now." And Sony was doing that thing where they're tapping their watch, and they're just like, "Come on, Joss."
Disney did that same shit to him with the Avengers, and
Yep. Didn't he take his name off one of those projects because he thought it was so fucking bad?
He did. That he did.
Anyway, okay, so Rebel Moon. Zack Snyder is capable of doing some fun stuff. So I enthusiastically watched Rebel Moon because it was a new sci-fi property. It was not a remake of something. It was not based on an existing IP. It was a, quote, original idea by Zack Snyder. And I watched the movie, and it was basically, it was Star Wars if Star Wars was a heist. And they spent the better part of the movie accumulating a crew so that they could fight the bad guy at the end. And then Sophia Boutella won. And that was it. And it was not good. And it was not fun. And there was a lot of cringy stuff in it. And I thought it was really horrible. And then he did a part 2. Yes, I was saying the bad guy lived. Yes, he did. And that's how they made a part 2. So that was really unfortunate. Rebel Moon was really unfortunate. Like, what was the other? There have been a smattering of sci-fi movies that have come out that have ended up not being that good. But I give them a break because I'm just thankful to see more original sci-fi properties. 65, I think, was one where Kylo Ren gets shot back 65 million years and he needs to survive on a dinosaur planet. I was like, oh, interesting idea. And then it turned out to be not so great.
Absolute awful. I got about 10 minutes into that movie and then I got depressed and stopped watching.
The other one that I went to see that I knew it was going to be bad, but I wanted to see it anyway, was the one that Will Smith did with his son, where they crashed on the planet and his son had to run around getting stuff to fix the ship because his dad was injured.
Yeah.
Will Smith's character name was Cypher Rage.
Jesus. That's awful.
And that, in the words of that character from iRobot, that is the correct question.
Oh. Yeah, I think, Kirby, you're right. I think it was called After Earth.
God.
Oh.
Why has Will Smith's movie catalog gone, like, downhill?
Well...
Like, Men in Black was good.
Was it? So...
Okay. Was it?
He had
It
some good
was.
movies for sure.
He did, yeah. Wild Wild West.
Independence
Okay.
Day,
Independence Day,
Let's not
yeah.
go
Welcome
that
to
far.
Earth.
Welcome to Earth, motherfucker.
great movie.
It's Earth. Earth with an F.
Earth.
ERF.
EARF.
Welcome to Earth.
Or, alternatively, URF.
Oh, that's true. That's true. What else good has Will Smith been in? Ali, when he played Muhammad Ali. That was a good movie.
Pursuit of Happiness. That was a good one.
That, I never watched that. That looked like...
It was a good one.
That
That
looked like-
actually was a good movie.
It looked like Hallmark trash to me. But that explains why you would have seen it. I'm not saying that you like a lot of Walmart movies. I'm just saying that you guys watch a lot of Hallmark movies.
Oh, no. Let me correct you. I don't watch a lot of Hallmark movies. My wife watches a lot of Hallmark movies. I just happen to be in the room for the first 15 minutes until I go, it's really cute how they fall in love at the end of the movie. And then she looks at me and goes, get out.
But it's on while you're in the house. That means you absorb it through osmosis. That's how movies work.
Is that how movies work?
Kirby says Wild Wild
Is
West
that how
had that.
babies are made?
Yeah. You live together long enough, the baby just forms through osmosis, yeah. Wild Wild West had that weirdo producer with a lust for spiders. Yes, the spider machine at the end was great. Steampunk Spider was fucking great. Also, Will Smith had the movie where he played the doctor from some African country. He came over here and he started doing autopsies of like football players and discovered, wow, concussions are bad for your brain.
Yeah, the CTE movie.
Yeah, that one. And the NFL was like, shut up.
The NFL was like, nuh-uh. And I'm walking around with, living with the results of 17 concussions. Thanks.
Yeah. Silas, wait, have either of you ever seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Yes.
Omega, you should watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It is goofy good fun. Where it's exactly what it sounds like. There are aliens, and they take the form of clowns, and they have a circus ship, and they land, and hilarity ensues. It's great. There's a grumpy old sheriff in the small town who, I swear to God, all he wants to do is go back to Nam, where he could shoot anyone on sight, and they'd give him a fucking medal for it. He is having the hardest time adjusting back to civilized society because he can't shoot everybody. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah, man, it's a tough transition.
Oh, okay. So, where do we get to? Where did we go? Why did we drop out, Cotton Eye Joe? Oh boy. So yeah, Halo show canceled. Acolyte soft canceled, just not renewed. Rings of Power, production and writing staff fired and replaced. So we'll see what happens in season 2. I'm not holding my breath. What good came out recently? Shogun. Shogun was good. As far as a remake of a 1970s serial goes. That was pretty good. I should probably go back and watch the original, or read the original. Later, Silas.
Alright, Silas, have a good one.
Later.
But that's about it. How about some better news? How about some good news? Surprisingly, completely out of left field, Bethesda Game Studios developers form a wall-to-wall union that includes artists, designers, and programmers. So the 241 artists, engineers, programmers, and designers across 3 offices are now unionized. They've elected to unionize with the Communication Workers of America, which is a national labor organization that has also worked with Activision Blizzard employees on their collective bargaining efforts. So, this is good. I like unions.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty great. that we finally
Good for them.
have, pretty good, strong push for unionization here in like a legit game dev studio.
Hello, Greatness in Gaming. Greatness says they should have done that before Microsoft bought and fired a lot of them.
I mean, fair
I
point,
mean,
fair point.
Yeah, they should.
Very
But,
fair
hey, I think that's probably the lesson they learned. I was like, oh, maybe we should organize.
Oh boy. But yeah, it surprises me that Todd is fine with this. Not that I think Todd is anti-union, he's just anti-making a finished game, I guess.
He's anti anything that isn't Todd Howard.
Yes, I was in the chess club.
I'm
I still love that. He's so defensive. Oh. Anyway, unionization, good. A little late.
The Disney Parks employees are actually trying to unionize. I think I read somewhere.
Really? I look forward to that mysteriously getting dropped. Greatness says you gents should watch Warrior, worth a watch. Greatness, is that Warrior about the Japanese gentleman who comes to America and sets up shop in a southern town with an old circus? Or is it the Warrior with Tom Hardy? Where he punches people very hard. Because both were good. But yeah, alright. Disney Park employees?
I think it was Disney Park employees. Hold, please. I was raising my
That would make sense. Like, that would be where it started.
Park employees union. Cast members who do the same work at Walt Disney World have been unionized for decades. This was an article from back in February. But I swear I saw something. Here we go. Disneyland workers vote to authorize strike, citing unfair labor practices during bargaining period.
Orders? Yes. Yes.
Disney cast members in California approve possible strike prior to annual contract negotiations. I can't believe I'm getting this off of the Fox News website or the Fox Business website. It depresses me greatly.
Sometimes they have real news. Greatness, I found the one that you're talking about. Thank you. I will watch this. Greatness is talking about a TV show that is supposedly adapted from the writings of Bruce Lee. It started in 2019 and went to 2023. It's called Warrior. It has how many episodes? 30? 30 episodes. And they are all fairly highly rated. So yeah, I'll give that a shot. Gross.
So let's see here. Workers at Disneyland California have given the okay to a potential strike if their demands are not met, according to the four unions which represent the Anaheim Park's nearly 14,000 cast members.
Oof.
So apparently they're already unionized. I did not think they were.
Wow, I'm impressed that they managed to get that far.
Yeah, to get that past the frozen head of Walt Disney. Sorry. No, I'm not. Who are we kidding? I'm not sorry.
Apparently it's a real danger if you lose power in a cryostasis tube for long enough. Basically what happens when you freeze yourself that goddamn fast is your cell membranes burst, and there's no point in freezing yourself, because when you thaw, you just melt. So this has happened, where cryo chambers have lost power for just enough time that people develop a fine layer of goo all over them. Isn't that charming? Head jar. Yeah, see, they should have done the Futurama thing with Walt Disney. They should have figured
Head jars.
out. Yeah, we should have figured out the head jar thing like a long time ago. Of course, Nixon was like dead and buried. So how did they get Nixon's head in the jar? Did they dig up his skull at that point and put it in the jar, or did they like clone Nixon? I'm getting it.
I had to have cloned him.
Yeah, we can clone Walt Disney and we can cut his head off and put it in a jar.
So, you clone him just to cut his head off. So I saw something the other day. Actually, no, it was today. It wasn't the other day. It was today. Somebody said, Biden drops out of the race, and all of the sudden, the Democratic National Convention is in Chicago, and then it cuts to the scene of Nixon popping through the flag and the giants.
Nixon's back, baby! Yeah, Futurama was great.
Oh.
I love how, Nixon's head was in a jar, but they had a headless body of Spiro Agnew.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, I did not realize. Who was it that was president after Nixon? Was it Ford?
I think it was Ford. I think that it was...
And he is the only president in the history of the United States to not be elected.
Yeah, he was elected by the House. It's within the House's purview. If you don't have a president or a vice president, the House can elect.
And there was a joke on that 70s show that was made. Kitty says, well, I don't like Gerald Ford. I didn't vote for him. And Red just looks up from his paper and goes, nobody voted for him, Kitty.
Oh, that poor guy. I bet he did good stuff, but all he's remembered for is falling downstairs. They're coming for us. We're not supposed to make president jokes.
So I did make it onto a popular, semi-popular wrestling commentators YouTube channel the other day with one of my tweets that said, I am a short, fat Southerner who has the WWE World Championship belt and has held on to it longer than Drew McIntyre, who happens to be a wrestler that lost the World Championship in 5 minutes and 42 seconds at WrestleMania. And I posted this and apparently caught somebody's attention. So I'm still famous, guys. That's what I'm getting at. I'm still famous.
That's why
They're coming to get me because I'm famous.
They're trying to defend you, Zero.
I don't want to be defended. I can defend myself.
Oh, man. Alright, well, unfortunately, it's time for me to walk my dogs.
Yep.
No! Actually, you're lucky my dogs can't hear that right now. They love sirens.
Yeah.
They love to sing along.
Fire truck. Successful mission.
They love fire trucks the most. Yay! Hey, you did it!
Hooray.
Fuck yeah!
America!
I mean, Czechoslovakia! Fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's the spirit.
Oh man, kids today are too young to remember Czechoslovakia. So spoiled today by Slovakia and the Czech Republic. We have two gorgeous post-communist countries to visit. So anyway, yeah, I have to go walk my dogs, and then I have to address the have to poop but don't have to poop situation that I've been dealing with for, I don't know, years. Basically years.
Do you have a bidet? Just one quick stream up there should take care of it.
So what I did was I got one of those power sanders and I put a brush, one of those brush thingies on it with the plastic bristles, and I duct taped that to the back of my yeah. So I dump a bottle of water on it and then I turn it on You know, cleans everything out.
Oh, the redneck roto rooter.
Yeah. Stings a bit. Kind of difficult to sit down most of the time, but
the fissures aren't great, but
yeah. I'm losing an alarming amount of blood. But other than that, I think it's going great.
My body will remake that. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, we make buckets of blood every single day. All right. Fuck Elon, fuck Winnie the Pooh, fuck Nestle, fuck Vince, fuck Linus, and yeah. I already said Winnie the Pooh, Putin, Winnie the Pooh, Putin, Elon. And yeah, we didn't get to the Vince news, but the Vince lawsuit is ongoing. There will be more on that later.
Yep, next week.
Vince McMahon.
Because apparently there's supposed to be more updates this week. So yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, GG's everybody. Thank you for coming along. Silas and Greatness and Kirby and everybody else in chat. GG's. I'll see you guys next week. Penis.
Later.
Penises.